Hello, this is the second part of the video how to keep the data consistent when user presses back button. Now I'm going to show how to handle this case when you have multiple screens, multi-screen flow, as promised. So I have got two screens here, invoice step 1 and invoice step 2, and I am going to modify the flow. So when we are creating an invoice, we need to fill in more data. Of course, this is an artificial example. There could be multiple screens. It could be not only the same collection, but this is for the sake of demonstration. I decided to take this approach. Okay, let me go and create another button. Create invoice 2, and I am going to link it to invoice step 1. So let's imagine we have more data in the payments collection. So let it be not only company address, but say zip code and, for example, state. So now I would like to fill in the data for company name in the first screen and the address and zip code in the second screen. So let's do it, for example, also with a form. So this will be the form for payments. We are going to create a new payment here. And we only need company name here. And then on the submit button, we are creating a payment and going to the invoice step 2 screen, where we have also the form when we are updating the payment, because we have got current payment in this screen already. Again, where is it? Yes, it's not create a new payment, it's update current payment. In the fields, we are putting address, zip code, and state. We don't need to connect a user, and when we submit, we update the payment, and let me copy this screen. This is going to be the third one, invoice completed 2. We go to this screen, completed. Link to invoice completed 2. And then we are getting back to the home screen. Also, I'm going to modify this list a bit. So we have address, current payment, zip code, current payment, state. Okay, let's preview and see how it works. Okay, here we have create invoice 2 button. So company name, this is a company, then address and the state. Then we update the payment. And congratulations, you have completed the invoice. So as you can see, everything looks nice here. Now let's explore what will happen if a user presses back button. Company name, company 2, then we create a payment, then company address, zip code and state, and then we continue. So there are two things which may happen here. When we press the button once, we can spoil the data here. So if we continue now, if we have a look at the database, you see that user has completed the invoice, but user has changed company address after completing the invoice. Another issue could be that if we press back button twice and we go to the first step where we create a company, it will be a completely new record here. So that instead of working with the previous data, we are creating a new data here. Again, you see we have created a completely new record. So what shall we do in this case? It's the same approach. So the approach here is that what we want to achieve. We want to achieve that if, for example, a user goes back from the step 2 to step 1, then a user should be able to change some information while working with the invoice. But when user reaches the completed stage, we should block user from changing anything. So how can we achieve that? Again, with a visibility condition. So I'm going to add, instead of working with users collection like in the first video, I'm going to add the true-false property to the invoice, to the payments collection, and let's call it isDraft. So, and also instead of creating an invoice, the new record on this in this form here, I'm going to create invoice immediately right when I press the button, and you will see why. So here, create invoice. First, I create a payment. I am setting to isDraft is true. So then here, instead of creating new payment, we're updating current payment. With the let's change the button title, so we continue to the invoice step 2. Here everything is fine. Let's change the title, and at the final invoice completed 2, again we can mark invoice as not draft either here or when we are entering this screen. I prefer doing it here because it looks nicer, but doesn't matter. So we are updating current payment, and we are setting isDraft to false. And the final step is we don't want to show these two forms when the invoice is finished. So again, the same, change visibility, sometimes if current payment isDraft is true, and here change visibility, sometimes current payment isDraft is true. And again, the sorry, you already completed the payment. Sometimes if current payment isDraft is false, and the same in the invoice step 2. Let's redo the condition to be on the safe side, because we copied the label. Okay, let's see how it works. So I am pressing create invoice now. Okay, company name, hello. Then continue. Address 123, 123, 123. If I would like to go back, I could put a back button now. I still have a company, and I can change the company name. Continue. Okay. Then I finish. Congratulations, you have completed the invoice. Let's go home. You see, this is the new invoice. If I go and press back button now, I get back to this completed screen, but if I try to get further back, sorry, you have already completed the payment. Sorry, you have already completed the payment. So there is no risk for the data to be corrupt and changed with this approach. Why I would like to create the payment on this screen? Usually it's just maybe my preference, because I would like to update existing data. So when you have a form or something, you can load it already from the existing record. So as you have seen, when I go back, there is a record data here. But if you are creating this, you may need, in some cases in Adalo, you may need to re-enter the information because inputs do not store the information. But this is really details which are irrelevant. What we are achieving is to protect data against corruption, and I think now the data is consistent. Thank you. I hope this was useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.